Okay, I got the new USB drive, I cleaned up the chip, we have 2 book reviews to get through. This book is my gift from the Second Amendment Foundation. The Concealed Handgun Manual, How to Choose, Carry, and Shoot a Gun in Self-Defense by Chris Bird. Chris Bird is a British subject. He moved to the United States, married a native Texan. He is now, by definition, an American citizen. This book, if someone told you that they wanted to buy a gun and they literally couldn't tell a revolver from semi-automatic, you get the idea. There it is. They literally couldn't tell a revolver from semi-automatic. They literally had no idea what a gun was. They literally knew nothing at all other than a gun goes bang. This book teaches basic moves, loading, unloading, safety checking. It teaches advanced moves such as drawing from concealment, taking cover. What is the difference between concealment and cover? It talks about certain training institutions. Thank you, clock. Gun sight, Thunder Ranch, Blackwater. When this book was first published, very few people knew what Blackwater was. They keep republishing this book like they do a textbook. They published a book, then a few years later they had another chapter published again, then published again. This book was published many years ago, but it's still in production. This is the latest edition. They give you websites for these academies, phone numbers for these academies. They give you websites for holster manufacturers, phone numbers for them so you can talk to them about what kind of holster you want. It's over 500 pages long, and it is a wealth of information. There are over 24 incidents in this book of self-defense, whether it be self-defense with your hands or self-defense with a gun. Some incidents go from, it was such a clear-cut case of self-defense, the first responding officer declared them safe before the body was moved away. Others had to go right through the full-fledged jury trial. Okay? To put that into perspective, only less than 1% of people arrested actually see a jury. The rest plead guilty or some crap like that. But you got guys here that are acting in self-defense, and they got to go right through to a jury trial, like George Zimmerman. Not in the book, Zimmerman. He's not mentioned here, but kind of like that situation where you got to go to the full-fledged jury trial. Some incidents I talked about, such as Luke Woodham. Luke Woodham was this big, hulking monster who killed his mother with a butcher knife in the middle of the night, came to school with a 30-30 lever-action hunting rifle, and killed a whole bunch of people. What was the exact count? But Luke Woodham was stopped by the assistant principal, who was an Army Reserve officer and had a 1911 Colt in his truck. It goes into explicit detail on how he stopped Luke Woodham. Another incident I mentioned before was Kip Kinkle. Kip Kinkle, as I mentioned earlier last year, was this little skinny kid, killed his parents in the middle of the night, took a Ruger 1022 with those plastic glued together high cap mags, brought them to school, shot a couple of people, went into the cafeteria and opened up. Jake Ryder, who I mentioned before by name, he was a large man. He was 17 years old. He was a high school senior. He's a year older than me. He's in the cafeteria. He sees Kip Kinkle. He shoves his girlfriend to the floor to get her out of the line of fire. He rushes forward, takes a .22 bullet to the torso. Now, a .22 bullet will not stop a 200-pound man in flight. Jake Ryder proves that. But what a .22 caliber bullet will do is destroy your entire insides and cause extensive damage to tissue, maybe even cause you to bleed to death. They've been to incidents where you get shot with a .22. I'm not putting the book up again, screw it. They have incidents when you're shot with a .22 and it rips through every single organ in your chest, and they have to look forever to get it out. So he races forward, he gets caught with a 22, he gets into a fight with Kinkle, knocks him on the ground, they're wrestling with it. Other students jump in, tackle him, start beating the shit out of him. And he does one of these moves. They wrestle the rifle away from him, and then Kip Kinkle pulls out a Glock 19. This is a Glock 23, but it's the same size. It is clear. Now, Jake Ryder's father was a Navy chief, and he had a Colt 1911 style Gold Cup, which is the competition 1911. And a week earlier, the elder Ryder taught his son a neat little trick. When you take a semi-automatic, not with a revolver, semi-automatic only. I'm using the tissues, I don't want to get my hand greasy. You take a semi-automatic, and you knock it back like that. See that little hair? Okay? If it's knocked back like that, it will not fire. Just like that. That's dangerous. Yeah. But this is the last case scenario when the guy's got the gun 2 inches from your face and you're gonna die anyway, so you might as well fight back. Jake Ryder pushed on the Glock, knocked it out of action, pushed it out of the way, the gun went off and blew off his finger, and the finger was being held up only by skin. They finally got the guy under control. They finally got him all disarmed. The cops took him away. It took half the school to pull Ryder off the guy. Ryder was going to kill the guy with his bare hands. A year later, they rushed Ryder to the hospital, took the bullet out of his chest. They reattached his finger, and a year later he went into the Marine Corps. Yeah. So there are so many incidents in this book that you can learn about. There's one incident when it was a college under fire and 2 individuals ran to their cars. One guy got his Beretta 92. He was some kind of reserve or part-time police officer. Another guy got his Ruger Speed 6 revolver. Please bring that back, Ruger. I'm a stockholder. I want you to bring it back. And they were able to effect an arrest on the guy. There are so many good cases in this book. You never know when it will save your life. Now, the other book that I like to talk about, I mentioned this, if you're following me on Twitter, I mentioned this. My Twitter handle is VinnyS914, same as it is here. This was recommended to me by Nicole Katz. Now, Nicole Katz is the wife of Dr. Stephen Katz, the New York State Assembly member. She is Jewish. She recommended this book to me, and I recommended it to half the friggin' world. Okay? Gun Control in the Third Reich by our attorney, Stephen Holbrook. Dr. Holbrook is representing us before Cuomo. Now, there's an incident I'm going to tell you about. It's a little off topic, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. This kid I knew in junior college, he was a couple years younger than me. We got our associate's degree in criminal justice. I went on to get my bachelor's degree. He went on to become a registered nurse. He's on Facebook, and he's talking about the states, assuming I can call the bastard an attorney general, suing Donald Trump. Snyder Turd, whatever his name is. And I'm saying Snyder Turd is suing Donald Trump because he wants money for our lawsuits. He's like, what? I said, yeah, I'm involved in the SAFE Act lawsuits. I'm involved in litigation against Cuomo. I've attached my name to lawsuits, blah, blah, blah. I'm campaigning against him, blah, blah, blah. But it's the law. Now, let's assume I say, okay, I'm going to go to the market and I'm going to buy a 14-year-old black girl and I'm going to make her clean up my apartment. And I'm going to rape her every night for a month so she gets pregnant. And when the baby gets a little older, the baby's also going to help clean up around here. Vinny, what the fuck? You're a fucking savage. What the fuck is wrong with you? Well, up until 1865, in half of the United States, that was legal. Let's assume I said I'm going to invite a Jew to go into the shower, and when the Jew goes into the shower, I'm going to turn the gas on and kill him. The poisonous gas and gas him to death and kill him. That's horrible. Well, in the 1940s in Europe, it was legal. Not only was it legal, but it was illegal not to do it. Martin Luther King said, when he was in jail for protesting for civil rights, everything he did was legal. And he's right. Also, Thomas Jefferson said, when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Even though Thomas Jefferson was a racist, slave-owning child molester, that's still a true statement. Now, we got into this thing where I'm talking about the gun control thing, blah, 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 and I compared Cuomo to Hitler. And this kid is Jewish. He got offended by that. I don't give a fuck. And I say, Cuomo's like Hitler because of the... You ever see how Cuomo demonizes gun owners? Look at Hitler demonizing Jews. Look at Cuomo demonizing gun owners. Same thing. Also, the late-term abortion thing. Cuomo wanted to make it legal to abort a baby during the 9th month of pregnancy. And every couple of years, a scientist will say, during this month, the baby can do this. During this month, the baby can feel this. And the abortion issue, controversial as it may be, was about, is it the right of the mother to have the abortion or the right of the baby to be born? What about, rape, incest, and life of the mother? A woman has cancer, and she has to have an abortion to get rid of, so she can have the chemotherapy. A woman cannot have a chemotherapy treatment while she's pregnant, so you got to give her an abortion first, then make her go through chemotherapy. And they were always like, what if this, or what if that, or what if the baby's going to be born deformed? And then it became, well, her choice no matter what. And then it became, well, does the baby feel pain? Yeah. And then it was like, well, what month can the baby live outside the womb? And then it was like, well, let's have the abortion. Okay? The abortion movement has come to, let's have the abortion period. No matter how late term it is, 8 months, 9 months, day before the baby's due, let's just have abortions. Does the baby suffer? I don't know. Can the baby live outside the womb? I don't know. Let's just have abortions. And after Andrew Cuomo got done with talking about how he wants common sense gun control to save the lives of the children, he then said, her body, her choice, let's have abortion legal up to the 9th month of pregnancy. And I said to this guy, this is a Facebook conversation, I said, when a woman is 9 months pregnant and you are demanding that it be legal to kill the baby, you are Hitler. That is Hitler. Hitler wanted to kill babies, he wanted to kill women, he wanted to kill children, he wanted to kill fucking Catholic priests and nuns that protested against him. Hitler wanted to kill. He was a demon. And when you're walking around saying it should be legal to kill a baby in the womb that is fully developed and can exist outside the womb during the 9th month of pregnancy, that is Hitler. And how do you kill a baby in the womb during the 9th month of pregnancy? Simple. Either A, you drill the baby's brain out with a drill, an assault drill, or B, you stick the baby with an assault syringe and give the baby a lethal injection. They actually give the baby a lethal injection inside the womb. And then, when a woman gives birth, vagina opens, baby comes out. When a woman's not in labor, the vagina won't open that much. How do you get the baby out? You go into the vagina, the little hole that's open, you rip the baby's body apart, rip the arms apart, rip the legs apart, rip the head off, rip the fucking torso off, and you pick the baby's body out of the vagina, out of the birth canal, body part by body part. Fully developed baby can exist outside the womb, but because they don't want it anymore, kill it inside the womb, rip it apart. Ladies and gentlemen, there were medieval torturers who tortured people to death, who hacked people, who disemboweled people, who set people on fire, who cut people in half while they were alive. They would find that disgusting. And there's no justification for it. And he's like, well, and he said something about what if the woman's life is in danger? Well, the 9th month abortion expansion was if the woman's health is in danger. you know what that means. If she wants it gone, get it out. Okay? So, New York state law already says if a woman is past the 4th month of pregnancy and her life is in danger, she can have an abortion. 5 months pregnant, can't have an abortion. 5 months pregnant with a tumor in her stomach, can't have the abortion legally. Once the woman is in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th month of pregnancy, you find the tumor, call the gynecologist, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Day, bring him in and tell him to get the baby out alive. There is no reason to have an abortion during the 9th month. 1st month, 2nd month, 3rd month, we'll discuss that. But during the 9th month of pregnancy, there is no reason for a woman to have an abortion because at that point, you're ripping a fucking baby apart. And this guy ended up, calling me an extremist. He followed Cuomo's fucking mentality by calling me an extremist. Now, I own 3 guns, and he's seen them. He's seen pictures of them. I own 3 guns. I know 1,000 ways to kill somebody. I've also saved 3 children from being killed. I understand that I may never take up arms except to defend myself as a last resort. I am an extremist. You think it should be legal for a woman to ask someone to drill a hole into her baby's brain because she doesn't want it anymore. At that point, the conversation ended, and I unfriended him. I don't want to talk to him. I can't be bothered with that shit anymore. Okay? I understand we have different opinions, and he was going on about, just because you disagree with someone, you gotta call him Hitler. I said, no, I don't disagree with him. He's Hitler. Okay? He wants to kill babies. He wants to steal guns from the citizenry. He talks about us like Hitler talks about Jews. I don't disagree. He's a fucking nut. And then they're like, did Hitler take away gun owners' businesses? Did Hitler arrest gun owners like they did the Jews? Well, actually, I didn't get that far. I deleted him, but I could have gotten that far. Cuomo did arrest innocent people. Legal gun owners who legally own their gun, legally own their magazine, had more rounds than he thought was necessary, and he had them arrested. You had a United States Marine Corps veteran arrested for 9 rounds in the magazine. Prosecutor says, I'm not pressing charges. Cuomo says the prosecutor's wrong. You got a United States Marine with 9 rounds of ammunition in the magazine, and you think he should go to jail for that? That's wrong. Also, how about the businesses? You have gun owners who lost their business because they could not stay in business. Cuomo outlawed all the merchandise they already had in stock, and now they can't sell it, they can't pay their bills, they go out of business. Hitler did the same thing to the Jews. Hitler took all the Jews and said, okay, if you are not a Jew, you have to shop in the non-Jew store. If you are a Jew, you have to shop in the Jew store. Now, Jewish merchants went out of business because there weren't enough Jewish customers to meet their quota so they could pay their bills. Also, the kids who rocks through the windows and stuff, and they were going out of business because, Jewish guy cannot cater to non-Jewish people. He loses his business. Same thing. Or Hitler just said, fuck you, you're closed down. Cuomo wants innocent people in jail. And he wants innocent people to lose their business. That is a mentality of Hitler. Now let's get to the book. Yeah, I know, we're waiting for a while. You probably fast forward the freaking thing. This book, every single solitary gun control law in the United States today comes from Hitler himself. In 1928, the German government ordered every gun to be registered. 5 years later, when Hitler took over, he inherited the registrations. Now, talk about what is a military gun versus a sporting gun. What guns are military style versus civilian style? what accessories are not necessary on your rifle. What accessories are necessary on your rifle. The Mauser 98K, the Mauser 98 rifle series, regular 98 and the 98K was the shorter version. That was the AR-15 of Germany. Classified as a military rifle, no need for hunting, it's banned. Having a tactical light on your rifle is not necessary, therefore it's illegal. Tactical light back then probably meant a rifle with a friggin' string attaching a flashlight to it, but okay, you cannot have a gun unless you have a license with good cause. They showed you several people that the Gestapo was reviewing. 1928, all guns are registered. The Gestapo was looking at applicants for gun licenses. Do you need a gun license? Or you already have a gun license, your gun is registered, should you keep it, yes or no? And there was a whole list of guys in here. You know, one guy was I think he was a cab driver, but one guy drove his car at night and he carried a lot of money on him. He did not need a gun license, therefore no gun for him. Really? You drive around at night? Another guy, he was a fisherman's supervisor. He supervised a fishing crew. He needed a gun license immediately, and they had to approve the application immediately, and they got to give him a gun immediately, and he's got to carry it 24 hours a day. Why? Why does the fisherman's supervisor need a gun, and the guy driving around at night not need a gun? Simple. Who owed Hitler a favor? New York City. You're not getting a gun license unless someone owes you a favor. Very scary, ladies and gentlemen, very scary. And they show you every step Hitler took about common sense gun control for public safety. It was necessary. Who is exempt from gun control? Military, police, politicians, and their bodyguards are exempt from gun control laws. These guns are military style, banned. These guns are sporting style, okay. Now, my ex-friend said that Hitler made it easy for people to get guns. Well, he can shove this book up his fucking ass and set it on fire as far as I'm concerned. Hitler made it easy for you to get a gun when you owed him, when he owed you a favor. Okay? No guns for Jews, period. No guns for blacks, period. No guns for gypsies, period. You know what gypsies are, right? Gypsies are guys that roam around the countryside and have shops set up and merchandise and fortune tellers and shit. No one that is a gypsy or acts like a gypsy. Well, a white German Christian man is a traveling salesman. Is he a gypsy? He moves around a lot. No, probably. Well, if he owes a favor, he's not a gypsy, but or they owes him a favor. Hitler made it impossible for the average citizen to get a gun. You didn't get a gun in the Third Reich unless Hitler owed you a favor. Donated it to his campaign, or a friend of his, allow him to speak in your beer hall, allow him to speak to your employees, passed out campaign information at work. Unless Hitler owed you a favor, you did not get a gun. If you had a gun, it was registered in case Hitler thought you didn't need it anymore. The police had absolute authority on whether or not to deny you a gun. Period. Can I have a gun license? No, you can't. Why? Because I said so. Fuck you. That was the mentality of the book. You didn't get a gun license. They didn't want you to have one. You didn't have one. Go fuck yourself. Now, what jurisdiction in the United States of America is the closest to Nazi Germany? New York City under Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg is Jewish. And Michael Bloomberg, a Jewish person, controlled New York City's weapons like Hitler did. It's almost as if he took it from his book. In addition to having common sense gun control to save lives, also BB guns, pellet guns, air rifles, they're classified as weapons. And they were in New York City too. You can't get a BB gun in New York City. You cannot get a BB gun in New York City unless you have a written letter from the police commissioner. And you're not getting that written letter unless you're his nephew. My hometown of Yonkers, 1968, they passed the law. No BB guns unless you have a license from the police commissioner. My city don't give a shit. My city does not care if you own a BB gun so long as you hurt no one. They overlook it. If you take your BB gun in my city and you start shooting out car windows, they'll prosecute you for it. But if you own a BB gun in my hometown and you don't bother anybody, look the other way. Not in New York City and not in Nazi Germany. Now, after BB gun control, what happens? Knife control, brass knuckle control, baton control, sword control, bayonet control, axe control, hammer control. The Nuremberg laws were set up, and other like-minded laws were set up. Any weapon capable of thrusting or bludgeoning was outlawed. They literally had Jewish men who fought for Germany in World War I. I'm Italian. In World War I, they had swords and bayonets given to them by the German government. Generation later, they took them away. And after every single solitary common sense gun control law was in effect, it moved on to knife control, bayonet control, hammer control, sword control, slingshot control, baton control, dart gun control, bow and arrow control. And once they completely had the entire nation secure and all common sense weapon laws were instituted, guess what? To the trains. To the trains. If you are a Jew, you must read this. If you are a gun owner, you must read this. If you are anyone that denies that it can happen again, you must read this book. You must read this book. I cannot stress that enough. Period. Even if you don't read this one, you must read this one. This is mandatory reading for our people. Our people, the gun owners, our people, the Jews. I'm not Jewish, but you know what I mean. Okay? This is mandatory. Gun Control in the Third Reich by Holbrook. You must read it. It is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Go to the bookstore. Go to the library. You must read it. And when you read it, tell me about it. Respond to the video. You must read it. I don't want to spoil too much, but you must read it. Thank you.